camera is kind of is the
buffer.
buffer
Yeah.
between what's going on, and you're really focused at just delivering. Because I'm the same way when I'm behind a camera and photographing a person. I get them talking generally, but I'm shooting a moment. So everything they say, it's so funny. A lot of things go like in one ear out the other because I'm looking for the moment.
That's right.
And so it's interesting. And then I have to like kind of replay it a little bit back to remember. So it's just how it is. Yeah, you get into it. I was born in Toronto in the East End and grew up here, spent a good part of my life downtown Toronto, and I went away to university because that's what I was told to do, and I did a arts and science background in, or a BA in psychology and sociology. And I actually went to work in the corporate world for a little while, and I did human resources. And you know, everything was fine, and I ended up taking an opportunity in California, but also going for a previous relationship. I was with somebody and moved down there, and that's where art and photography started for me. I just I feel like I found myself there, and it was like an old part of me, a part of me that was maybe hidden in Toronto, wouldn't have found it necessarily because I was already in a pretty content place. But when I went down there, I felt this need to grow, to learn, because I was in such a beautiful environment, and I felt like I wanted to capture it. So I started doing photo classes while I was, you know, living there. Oh, it's like a feeling of euphoria. It is something that it hits your heart. It's as if you're capturing something that you need to, you know, tell this person's story if it's a person in front of you. It's just a feeling of elation. You want to capture it, and you feel it more than you even see it. It's kind of a description that I have of it. Every once in a while, I will accomplish something, and whether it be, okay, I have some pictures in a magazine, or I have done, you know, a show, or I've done, or I get a phone call from someone who said that they really loved the image and they actually see themselves in it. That's when I feel that I've done something to affect somebody else, and that's where I feel like I've done the right thing. I'm on the right path if I'm feeling some of these, you know, experiences, and I'm getting that back. I have a, you know, collection that I do right now. It's called Undiscovered Beauty, and I photograph things that most people would think are really ugly, rust, moss, chip paint, you know, surfaces, things that, you know, to me they tell a story, but to other people they might think are really ugly. But then once I photograph it and they say, you know what, that's really beautiful. I wouldn't have even thought that that doorknob would look so gorgeous. But, you know, so I think from that perspective, that side of the family, you know, the eclectic antique collectors and looking at things very differently really kind of helped me growing up. Typically when I do self-portraits, I will photograph myself in, you know, different, standing in different positions, and I look back at the contacts when I get them, and then that's when I decide this is the one that really reflects what I'm going through at this moment. Let's see. I don't really have a typical workday. When I am doing photography and it's an editorial type of, say, brochure, because that's a lot of the work that I've been getting, it is, you know, having the assistant meet me at the set, setting up like location lighting, meeting with the person, the subject, getting them to feel comfortable, and you know, photographing them in their natural environment. And sometimes it's just the natural environment. Sometimes we bring, you know, background, and set up something that the art director might want, shot a certain way. So, I could be 6 in the morning at Scarborough Bluffs. I could be in an operating room with a doctor, photographing him, somewhere at a hospital. It's all over the place. Every day is different. So that's the one thing I look forward to is, it's different all the time. I meet great people, very inspiring people. So I love it. I think finding first the career that you feel is the right choice for yourself, because that in itself is difficult. It's not easy to find what you think your calling is. There's so many branches that you can go and leap on and try, and and that's great. That experience can lend itself to something else. But I think first finding the thing that you love doing, your passion. Success is ever evolving also. Once you've found one or achieved one goal, you're on to maybe the next level of goals. So I think success is also a work in progress. You just got to keep challenging yourself and going ahead, and once you've tamed something, maybe try something new, try something different. Yeah, fulfillment is first and most important. You want to be engaged on projects that really kind of nurture your soul. I think I struggle with that a little bit, because a good part of photography when you're starting out, a lot of the money goes towards equipment. It's one of the most expensive careers that you can actually do. And rightly or wrongly, it's one of those things you just have to keep going with, and just know that you are still doing the right thing, and eventually it's going to really pay off, and you just have to have a belief in that. So you try not to think of it, you spend a lot of money on camera gear, you just got to remember, hey, it's an investment early on, and it'll pay off one day. I feel like personal side transcends into your work side. The two can easily be combined. It's just your view on those things. I think that there's some people that really, keep those two pieces apart. And for me, I find that there's a lot of kind of dissonance with that. I like to have the two meld. And I've seen other people who've done that very well. Sally Mann, who's like a huge, incredible photographer, and I saw her lecture in California. She's somebody who took her personal and made it her career, and she photographed her family, and she's hugely famous for it. And she's an inspiration for me, because I think the two worlds can work together.